Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. This is the week of June 15th, 2023. Current challenge, Batman Ninja Batman. 1 week repeat. Required characters are Catwoman, Nightwing, and Batman, who are all available as cheaply as bronze, and gold respectively. Great entry point for any new players. Batman's just such a common card. You can buy him directly in the store, or you can just get him as a drop in the gold pack. His passive, Ninja Rising. When outnumbered, Batman receives 50% less damage and is immune to life drain. Batman Ninja teammates get plus 20% critical chance, and all teammates gain plus 50% power generation from critical hits. His attack is 1300, his health is 1500. He was last available August 18th, 2022. All right. Super high stats. 1300 attack and 1500 health. Total pool of 2800, which is as much as Batman Ninja Lord Joker, except Joker has it reversed where more of it's in the attack, which is how we like it. I said it before, I'll say it again. I love his name. He is very much like Arrow, Green Arrow. Batman Ninja Batman is so much Batman that it has to be in his name twice. On the flip side, he is only 1/3 ninja. Okay, old joke, I know. So a lot of times when you see Batman Ninja Batman in multiplayer, he's geared as a tank to take advantage of the first part of his passive, to take 50% less damage when he's outnumbered. You add Gingold Soda, you add Killer Croc Companion Gear, and Batman Ninja Helmet, and he can be invulnerable. He could be the best tank ever when outnumbered and he has some power. However, I think that misses out on the best part of him, which isn't even in his passive. I mean, if you look at his passive, all right, so sure, getting a free 20% crit chance for Batman Ninja teammates, that's pretty good. Teammates getting more power when dealing crit hits, also good. Doesn't help Batman, though. But his special 2 is very much like the Batgirl special 1. His special 2 stuns to start, doing a little bit of the total damage, and finishes with the highest damage after the stun. That means he can do a lot of damage when he's using the Cloak of Destiny, Necron Scythe, or both, stacked, like you're seeing in the video right now. The problem with his special 2, though, is despite doing a huge amount of damage, especially when you use stun boosting gear, the problem is that only the last hit of his special 2 can knock out an opponent. So there's lots of strategies that you can use to counter him. Revives, easy way. If you are using Batman Ninja Batman with a Tantu Totem loadout, and if the opponent has a revive, you won't be able to get your power back from Tantu Totem. You don't knock out the opponent, which means you need to tag out and reset. And typically, if you're going to be doing excessive damage against an opponent in front of you, the one that's right there, it's way more useful if you can spread that damage to the rest of the opponent's team. And the most common way that you see people doing this is to use splash damage, or officially it's called area effect damage. For special 2, that's typically the Fourth World Godly Mace, which is 15% splash damage. Some signature gears that are not Batman's can give you 20% splash damage, so really 15% is what you're looking at. So why aren't we doing that here? So we've given him we've given him Cloak of Destiny, we've given him Necron Scythe, but we're not using splash damage. So the team that you're watching has New 52 Wonder Woman to take care of power generation. So this does a few things. One, he can use 2 of his slots to increase his special 2 stun boosted damage with the Cloak and the Scythe, like we mentioned. And the other thing is he can use Enchantress Companion Gear as the solution to the problem with his high damage special 2. Because New 52 Wonder Woman is powering him up, very rarely is he going to come in with 2 bars of power and still have to be facing 3 opponents, right? Because New 52 Wonder Woman is going to be doing a bunch of damage like you're seeing to power him up. That means that the splash damage on a special 2 is not nearly as effective. It doesn't give you as much. Fourth World Godly Mace only gives you 15% splash damage against each opponent that's not in front of you and active in the fight. So maximum, you're doing an extra 30% total damage if you're facing 3 opponents with Batman, 15% if it's 2 opponents, and none if you're facing the last opponent. The area effect does nothing. But if you use Enchantress Companion Gear, you get 3 Flying Skulls after your special, each doing 10% of the damage when it's maxed out. So if you're watching the Batman Ninja Batman, I wanted to say Batman Ninja, but Batman Ninja Batman here is only level 50, Elite 5, and still doing around 800,000 damage with his special 2 if it's unblocked and the last hit is critical. That means about half the time, because we're using only his augmented crit chance. None of the gears... Tantu Totem increases the crit chance. So more than half the time, there are 3 skulls coming in after his special 2. Oh, actually, no, sorry. He's not using Tantu Totem. He's only getting his augmented, so 50%. So half the time, there are 3 skulls coming in after special 2, doing 10%, 10%, 10%. That's 240,000 worth of damage. That 240,000 damage after his special 2 is more than enough to knock out a single opponent, and is more than enough to knock out an opponent that has a revive. And in the fights that you're watching, there's going to be a bunch. It depends on which footage we put in. But we're leaving Batman Ninja Batman in to see how much damage his skulls do. Until you get to the last fight, you don't see any numbers on the tail end of his special 2. And it's not the best strategy. We're just waiting to see, based on the health coming down from the opponent, because we're not doing any other damage, just how effective those skulls are. I mean, in an optimized fight, we wouldn't be standing around waiting. We'd be tagging in New 52 Wonder Woman back in order to just sort of start the whole damage cycle again. And I guess the biggest point of this is that really you can still teach an old dog new tricks, us being the old dogs. I did not realize how good Enchantress Companion Gear was until I saw this when we were playing the Suicide Squad team with Harley Quinn using Joker for her special 2, and Enchantress Companion Gear giving you 6 skulls on that full Suicide Squad team instead of the usual 3. So if you look at the Injustice Wiki, they mention using Enchantress with Batman Ninja Batman, but only for the benefit of health gain. I think the most important thing that they don't mention is how it is a solution for not just Batman Ninja Batman, but any of the characters with high damage special 2s that can only knock out opponents on the last hit. One other thing worth pointing out is that, there was a post in the Injustice subreddit a while ago where someone felt that on a team with New 52 Wonder Woman, it wasn't worth making her a special specialist if there was only one other Justice League teammate that she could give power to. And I think the team that you're watching now, where Hawkgirl doesn't get any benefit because she doesn't count as Justice League, so she gets no benefit from New 52 Wonder Woman generating power. But Batman Ninja Batman does get power. Even just that one. It's, I think, a pretty good refutation of the idea that you need a full Justice League team to get the benefit of New 52 Wonder Woman. This is 160 weeks now in a row of a repeating pattern that first appeared May 2020. We have had 3 complete runs of a 43-week cycle, plus 31 weeks in the 4th cycle. If the pattern holds, next week is going to be Rebirth Raven. And there are still 23 challenge characters that have been missing that haven't shown up since before May 2020. This week's multiplayer reward is Reverse Flash. His passive is Cellular Regeneration. While active, the Reverse Flash has a chance to immediately regenerate health and cleanse negative effects after taking damage from a special attack. May occur 3 times per match. 1,000 attack, 1,000 health. Last available November 10th, 2022. That is 128 weeks in a row of a consistent pattern. 4 complete cycles of a 31 reward sequence. 4th in the latest 5th cycle. And unlike the challenge cycle, nothing is missing from multiplayer rewards. If the pattern holds, next week should be Flashpoint Deathstroke. So, Reverse Flash. Lowest stats. 1,000, 1,000. He used to be the most important character when we were motivated to finish Survivor. Link in the description from way back in the day when Survivor was fewer fights. Still hard to finish, and we had a playthrough where we just finished it in the first go. He is super fast, like all the Flashes. Even better is that when you swipe just once to get his first 2 swipe hits, if you don't swipe again for his 3rd hit, he has the shortest refractory period of anyone. So that period where he's able to pause and miss the 3rd hit, but then start up again with the next combo. That means you can juggle the opponent even when they have a bar power, as long as he has a couple of speed boosts. Lots of people talk about juggling opponents, but I think it only counts if the technique still works when the opponent has power, because otherwise power would prioritize. Doesn't when you're doing the juggling right with reverse flash. In one of the previous updates, long time ago, a few years ago, that was changed a little bit. His timing was changed a little bit, so it's harder to do the juggle, but it can still be pretty effective. But you almost always have to do a proper speed boost with his special one. There's also a couple of things that you'll notice from playing him or playing against him. If he's already lost health and he tags in because a teammate got knocked out with a special, his cellular regeneration can trigger, but instead of going back to what health he had, he gets full health. And another thing worth mentioning is that in the survivor rounds where a special is locked, if his cellular regeneration triggers, unlocks his specials. We have a fun video where we make him disappear using Elseworld Flash's passive. Link in the description. Also important to note, unblockable gears are especially good with him and any other characters like the Flashes that will do 2 hits on one swipe. Because even if the opponent blocks, that one swipe that you do for his basic combo results in 2 hits. So even if the opponent blocks, there's an increased chance of it being unblockable to continue your combo or just to try starting a new combo. So, for example, there's a 30% unblockable chance with Soul Taker Sword and 25% chance with Hyper Speed Plated Suit. So if you just use the Soul Taker Sword alone and the opponent blocks, there's a 70%. So 30% unblockable chance. That means 70% chance that the block holds on the first hit, but then a 70% chance that the block will hold on the second hit. That means if you use your math, there's only a 49% chance that the block will hold against both hits, meaning there's a better than half. There's a 51% chance that you will break the block. Not too bad. If you use both gears, I think that will go up to almost 80% that you're going to break the block. So if you screw up the infinite combo, the opponent blocks, you break the block a good chunk of the time. 80% if you use Soul Taker Sword. 50% if you use Soul Taker Sword, and close to 80% if you use those 2 unblockable gears. This is the same reason. The flip side is this is the same reason why the AI is so much better with unblockable attacks, because they will complete their combo even if you block. If the AI blocks, your basic combo gets interrupted. When you block, not interrupted, every single hit is a chance to break your block. And I guess it's possible the unblockable chance doesn't just add up for the 2 gears, so maybe it's a little bit lower, but still pretty close to 80%. I mean, the difference really is small enough that even when you're tracking a very large sample size, it'd be hard to tell which one was actually the right number. So we also have a really old video where we demonstrate the infinite basic attack combo using Regime Flash as a teammate to supply the initial speed boost, so we don't need to do a special one. Link is also in the description. Okay. In the store, Rebirth Raven Early Access Pack $12.99. Corroborate include in next week's challenge. Doesn't come with credits. It's priced accordingly. Doesn't unlock in your store. Wait for next week. The other new pack is the Justice League pack. $24.99 Canadian. You get 2 characters, Superman and Wonder Woman Regime, that are both in the store. Aquaman, who's a challenge character. This would be great in a week where Aquaman would be required in the challenge, but it's not. So I can't really endorse this pack. Not that great. Character bundle, Lantern, second week, $24.99 Canadian. Lots of other packs that we used to talk about, but they've been around for more than a year, so old news. And what else? Phantom Zone, there's 1 more week left. There's double XP for Father's Day weekend, which makes more sense than having it for Mother's Day like we just did. Fight 62 is still broken. Last weekend's breakthrough for golds was, as expected, Zatanna, Flash, and Solomon Grundy. This coming weekend is probably Raven, Superman, and the Arkham Knight. Link in the description to a thread in the Injustice Mobile subreddit from Devlin16, one of the mods that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle. And yeah, this is a part where we used to always talk about the current glitches, but it's been a long time. We go into more detail every time something significant changes, which did not happen this week. And even if nothing changes, we still do a more detailed review once a month, and that's the first week of every month. Most recently, that was our recap from June the 1st. You can also see a video tutorial for every working glitch in our playlist, Current Glitches, linked in the description of this video. Main thing worth mentioning is that the challenge reset glitch has been confirmed to be working on this week's Batman Ninja Challenge. And that's it. So big thank you to our patrons on Patreon. That is Alexis M, supporting us on the Your Message Here tier, Michael Devries, Irvin Ruiz, and Hoshi127, who are supporting us on the credited level, and the other lovely folks that you see on your screen who have been kind enough and generous enough to have supported us during this pandemic. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Komoda.